Hello, parents who are here, people on live on YouTube. My name is Ahmad Ballout. I'm a program coordinator, the substance use program in Dearborn Heights. A little bit of my background: I have law enforcement background, been doing it for 9 years. Went to nonprofit sector. Now we're working with the substance use program with Dearborn Heights. We work with the police closely where we do referrals, people who overdose, suffer mental health and suicide, adults and underage, and we get them the help that they need. I'm also a health educator. I teach life skills program in a school. We do presentation substances to parents in our community. So today we're going to talk about parenting, adolescents setting limits and boundaries with your children. It's a very important conversation. We're going to cover like how much we're going to be involved in our kids' lives and how much freedom we need to give them as they grow older. I want to first thank Riverside School for giving me the time to be here, and I want to thank you guys taking time for being here with us. So with that, we're going to start about adolescents 10 to 19 years old. For some kids, it's a little bit before. Some kids, it's a little bit later, after 10. I can speak for myself as a parent myself. I have an 11-year-old, she's been a teen since she's 9. I have my younger daughter who's going to be teen way later. It depends on each person, your parenting lifestyle, their lifestyle, what's going on in your home. So a journey from childhood to adulthood, pretty much. They go through a lot of changes, physical, mainly, mental, and social. So social, that means their friends are growing up. They have more exposure. They have more interactions. They are more aware of what's going on around them. These are the most important years in their development life. So everything that they go through from 9, I'd say later than 19, could impact the type of person they grow up to be. They can face lifelong effects from what they experience as an adolescent. So it's very important to be more aware. Okay, now we are as parents, we from the minute they wake up, change their diaper, feed them, they're good to go, right? Eat, food, bathroom, that's it. Shower, basic. When they grow older, we start interacting with them. Once they become teenagers, we need to be more aware of their feelings more than ever. They're more independent. That doesn't mean, they can cope with everything. No. We need to be more in tune with what they're going through. And we're going to cover all that later on as we go on with the presentation. Parenting issues during adolescence. Parents can face struggles when trying to raise their teen because now the teen talk back. They're smart. They become their own individual, a little adult that is very smart, very intuitive, and they're very aware of everything that's around them. And I feel in this generation, they're more exposed than ever before. Thank you, social media, right? They can see stuff even at an earlier age. If you're not aware of what your kid is watching, they get exposed to so much more. Back in my days, when we didn't have social media, you only hear what goes on in your small circle, which is school, friends, home. That's it. That is it. And maybe if you want to read a newspaper, most of didn't, that's all you're exposed of. Now, a kid has access to social media, 4, 5, 6, 7, who knows, depending what they got access to. And they exposed to so many things. And that's something we'd be very aware of. During adolescence, the brain development is still incomplete. They say that depending on the person, on a child biography, they say it goes, the brain is fully developed by the age 25, 26, 27. Okay? They are more vulnerable to taking part in high-risk behavior like substance use. I wouldn't say only that. High-risk driving, we see that a lot. We see that just being extra active and making high jump. I myself, we should all remember us when we were teenagers. We used to take very high risk because that's how our bodies are made. That's how the age we're in. So substance use is not the only one. Many other aspects that we take risks as adolescents. Adolescents are influenced highly by their peers during this time because they're the only ones that listen to them. Okay? That's why their peers are the main influencer. Well, us as adults, generally, we say, you're a teenager, that's it. You're all grown up, you're good to go. But we need to be more involved with them, especially as they go through being a young adult. We have to be more in tune with them. That's why they turn to their peers a lot of the time. And think about it. Your kid is in school since morning till afternoon. They come home, they eat dinner, for example, do their homework. You might sit with them maybe an hour, 2 hours, maybe, if you have time during the week. The rest of the time, they're with the friends. That's why they connect mostly with their peers. What helps? Thoughtful, positive parenting is needed during this time. We need to show them more positivity. There's a lot of negativity out there. They get to expose a lot of negativity. Even human being, as a human person, we tend to consider more on the negative than the positive, even as adults. So imagine for a teenager what they have to go through. We need to be their light. We need to be the positive thing in their life. So when you put that in their life, that's kind of sets them up for success. Parents must seek to promote a strong bond and relationship with their teen. Remember how we talked about their peers? We need to be the other side of their peers. We need to be the one that they can talk to also. This is a big protective factor against teens taking part in high-risk behavior later on in life. What's parenting all about? Responding to their needs by caring for them and spending time and energy for them. We all have super busy lives. We work really hard day in and day out to provide for those kids. Okay? There's more needed, I'm sorry. Especially this day and age. Back in the day, we used to go out, play outside. When the light goes out, we need to go back in. They don't do that. A lot of the time they spend on social media. Everybody too scared to let their kids out. This is a different time we live in. So it requires us as parents to be more involved more than ever, on top of everything else we have to deal with. Remember, the main mission is to raise those kids, and they can grow up to be successful adults. That's all we work hard for. Yes, it's harder, but we have to be more involved. Establishing closeness by hugging them and showing them affection. That's another important factor. Although a lot of the teenagers are like, "Ew, stay away from me. I'm too old for this." But deep inside, they need to know verbally and physically. You need to show them that you still love them. They still matter to you. They kind of tend to lose that, especially as they go older. They need that closeness, that I love you, I see you every day, I love you, I give you a hug. They need that. Although they refuse it, they like it. Trust me. Helping them be independent by giving them chores, responsibilities, and encouraging them to be independent. This is very important. In my culture also, in some other cultures also, we tend to do everything for that kid. Everything. So they need to learn responsibilities. Okay? The earlier you start, the better. Number one, they learn how to take care of themselves. Number two, they have a goal. I feel important. I feel I contribute to this family. Okay? Number three, when they go old, they can take care of themselves. Basically. I can speak for myself. I didn't know how to do laundry until I was an adult. Okay? Because my mom did that for me. My kids, they start doing it now. My daughter is 11 years old. They do their own laundry. We supervise it, of course, but it gives them a purpose. Makes them feel good themselves. By the time they're teenagers, they still do their own laundry. Okay? That's an example. They can help. When I'm outside in the backyard, come work out with me. You don't need to be on your device. Come help me. I don't know. Play with a stick if you have to. Just so you can be outside. That's very, very important. Giving them a goal. Giving them something that they feel they achieve, that they're doing. Yes, it's hard. Because you have to sit there and explain everything to them. And you're already trying to survive. You're dreading. I have a security camera I've been putting off for a year, for like 2 weeks. But on top of everything we have to do, you have to be more patient. Respecting them by listening to what they have to say. It goes back to the first slide when we talk about peers. Okay? They need to have a voice. They need to have an opinion. Okay? Respect them. Sometimes they might give you some great ideas. They're super smart. So once they know that they have a voice, once they know they contribute to the family, it'll make your life that much easier. It's short-term pain for long-term benefits. And it pays for itself over and over in the future. What's parenting all about? Continued. Help their self-esteem by avoiding criticizing them too much and having realistic expectation to what they do. Remember, those are kids. Those are our kids. We shouldn't be judging them. They already get it. They already have to deal with it in school, with their friends, with their everywhere else. Let their house be their safe haven. Okay? Remember, we were teenagers once. Always remember how you grew up. Accept your own limitation and be honest with yourself. This one goes a long way. They see us as parents, as the superhero, as this undefeated person. But we're all humans. We all make mistakes. We all need help. Once you show them that side of you, it doesn't make you weaker. It makes them more sympathetic toward you. They will be more accepting toward your limitations. Okay, and they'll be able to help you. And you wouldn't feel so bad if you can't provide them with 1, 2, 3. Once they know what's going on, they need to be kept in the loop to a certain level. Sometimes you may not be able to spend as much time with your adolescent as you would like. Find a balance. Make the extra effort. Again, we work really hard, all of us. We have busy lifestyle. But set that as a priority, to spend more time with your kids. Mothers, fathers, depending how your work schedule is. They need to build that bond with you. And believe me, the time you spend with your kids, I'm pretty sure you know that as much as I do. Every stage of their life is a treasure for you. It's gonna remember it for the rest of your time. I always reminisce my kid when she was a baby. I used to carry her in my arms. Now, my kid is better. As they grow older, I'm gonna miss every step of the way. Okay? So make that effort. There's always room for you to learn new methods. Okay? Always be on the lookout. My position throughout my career in law enforcement and the nonprofit sector, I learned a lot. Nobody's born to be a parent. You learn a lot. The more you research, the more you're going to find different methods dealing with your kid, and it's never too late. Until they get, God forbid, they got stuck in some serious, such as addiction or a bad behavior. You don't want to wait for that time to happen. Important part of parent-teen relationship. Sense of connection between the teen and their parent. Close monitoring of their teen without ever interfering and providing them with freedom to think independently. Okay, now, we're talking about boundaries, right? We don't want to be too much in their face, but we need to monitor all their activity. I'll cover more on that in depth as we go on. For example, electronics. You need to know what they're watching, what they're doing. But they still need their freedom to think and provide and pick their brain. You'll be amazed how much stuff they know. When I do my substance use presentation and we talk to the kids, before I start anything, I ask them what they know. And they tell me a lot of stuff. It's scary because the stuff they're exposed to. Tip for positive parenting. Unconditional love. We already talked about it. Hugging them, showing them love. You have to verbally talk to them and let them know how much you care about them over and over. I know it's there, but they need that reminder, especially growing up, so when they meet somebody later on in life, that person, they will not take them unless they show them the love. They deserve it, just like you think they deserve it. So when you teach them that, you show it to them, they're going to apply it to themselves later on. Being on their side no matter what, because you're the parent. Of course, always support them. Always. Separating the teen from their mistakes. A lot of times it's not their fault because they don't know. But our reaction, oh my God, what did you do? And start yelling. That's natural reaction. But we need to condition ourselves otherwise. Okay, analyze the situation. Listen to what they say, and then make your decision. Okay, because the minute you start yelling at them, they're going to shut down. They will not open up to you, no matter what. So try and analyze the situation, separate the problem, and learn the root cause of the problem. And not bribing them to be better. That's another bad one. Okay, you do this for this, I'll pay you for this, and I'll pay you for this. So they're going to know, positive behavior, I'm going to get paid for it. No. Positive behavior is the norm. That's your obligation. Okay? That's your obligation to behave a certain way. Bragging is never a good answer. That's one thing. Oh, you passed high school, or you passed college, I'm going to buy you a car. If you get to college, I'm going to give you a car. No, that's the expectation. Okay, that's what's the normal thing to do, is to be successful and to go get your education so you can be successful later on in life. Tips for positive parenting. Keep a close watch. Monitor their daily routine. Every parent naturally does that. Okay? But we need to dig in deeper. Okay? If they lay low and they're very silent, something is up. The sixth sense always kicks in with every parent. Know what they are up to. Know their friends and who they're hanging out with. This is very, very important. For even adults, if you have a toxic environment, you're going to have a toxic lifestyle. If you have a positive environment, you're going to have a positive lifestyle. That goes across the board, especially for teenagers. If those kids are hanging out with kids that do sports, are into education and positive environment, that's what they're going to be compelled to follow suit, no matter how well you raise them. Okay? If they hang out with good kids that do sport, they're going to do that. If they're going to hang out with bad kids that do drugs or do experiment or break the rules, they're going to be compelled to do that themselves, no matter how good they are. Again, that goes back to first slide. Their peers. They're going to listen to their peers more than anybody because they listen to them. Keep communications with parents of your teens' friends. Know your friends, who they're hanging out, their parents. That's for their safety also. Keep communication with schools and teachers. Very, very important. Okay? The teachers are here to teach, not to raise the kids. Your job is to raise the kids. Okay? The teachers are here to keep them safe, give them the education they need, and as much as they can provide a positive environment for them. Okay? Talk to the teacher. You'd be surprised how much the teacher experiences with the kids, because again, they're with them most of the day, and they come home and they're with you for the rest of the day. So almost half their day. Communicate with the school and the teachers always. Show up to those meetings. As much as it's hard it is, make that time to show up to those meetings. Discipline. Explain the family rules are clearly. That's where the boundaries come in. Very important. Use punishment an appropriate amount, not too much. Just the right amount. Of course, as parents, we tend to lose our cool, and sometimes you might go overboard. And that happens to everybody. We're all human beings. Nobody's perfect. But always, if you condition yourself to do that, it'll become natural to you. Authoritative parenting style, where you are nurturing and supportive, yet firm with limits. If you start that at home, that's going to go back out in the community and society. If they follow the rules at home, they're going to follow out in the society. That's how you condition them to be responsible adults. Everything has a cause. You explain rules and listen. You explain rules and listen to your child's viewpoint, but you do not always accept it, because at the end of the day, you're the adult. Okay? They might have a misunderstanding of certain rules. They will question. They may not believe it, but when they grow older, they will. Stay consistent. I think it's in there. Okay, how to set boundaries. That's what I'm going to cover. Maintain empathy for your teen, always. Feel for them and avoid making quick judgment when they make a mistake. Understand what it was like for you at their age. Again, it goes back. Remember how you're a teenager. We all grew up making mistakes, testing those boundaries. And that's what they're going to do, and whether you like it or not. They're going to sit there and they're going to test the boundary. They're going to see how much you can get away with. That's natural. That's human nature. It's our job to tell them where the limits end. Maintain your teen's privacy. You can keep watch on them while allowing them their space. Okay? Better to have teen that feels safe enough to tell you when they have messed up versus a teen that is afraid to, and they hide it from you. And unfortunately, we see that a lot with my substance use program. Teenagers that experimented and started using marijuana, started partying too much, but kept it secret to their parents, ended up being stuck later on with harder substances because of the lifestyle they lead. They keep so much secret from the parent. All the parents are not involved. Who knows? So, allow them their space to develop, but always know what they're doing. Okay, and be honest with each other, because kids were gonna make a mistake. I don't care how you raise them. I don't care what's the house policy, how you guys do conduct. They're gonna make mistakes. Allow for natural consequences. This is a really big one. It might be tough to allow your teen to figure out how to solve issues on their own. Teaching them responsibilities. That goes back for them helping out in their chores. Okay? Let them make the mistake in front of you. At least you're watching them doing it. And give them the space to problem solve themselves. Don't just take it away from them. Oh, I'll take care of it. Let them problem solve. Pick their brain. Let them think. Let those wheels spin. And the more they use to solve problems, the better they're going to get at it. That's a really good one, because life, you're not going to be there every step of the way when they become adults. They need to know how to problem solve. And the sooner they start, the better they get at it as they grow older. You can offer them support and guidance without taking over completely. Be firm and consistent. This is a really big one, consistency. Again, it goes back to our lifestyle. Most of us work really hard. We get home tired. We just want to let loose and relax. But then you have your kids sitting in front of you. You have to be consistent with your punishment. And then it becomes normal to them. And they know this is a red line. I cannot cross it because the punishment is going to happen no matter what. Whether it's losing their phones, losing their privileges, whatever you have set up at your home as far as rules. It is better to have temporarily disappointment teen than teen that does not respect you at all. This way, they can respect you. They know their boundaries, and they know what the rules are. And if you stay consistent, they know it's coming. They're going to stop. Keep the bigger picture in mind. Try to remind your teen of the bigger picture, the future. How you work hard, this is the result that you're going to get. Tell them hard things happen in life, which is true, instead of them finding out way later as an adult. Okay? Life will come at you. But you need to be able to cope and roll with the punches and deal with it. You can't just stop and fall. We're going to be there for you as long as I'm alive, but eventually you're going to have to take care of yourself. You're going to be able to adapt. You're going to be able to cope and roll with the punches, because life is up and down no matter what you do. Things will not always go their way. So they need to know that also. Remember your own adolescent years. Remember what you went through as a teenager to better understand what you're going through. And I know it's hard. Some people had different lifestyles. Everybody grew up in different environment, backgrounds. But remember you as a teenager, what you had to go through, the differences, the obstacles, how you felt. This way you can see what they're going through. Listen more than you can talk. This is a really big one. As a parent, I have the tendency to talk. I like the sound of my own voice doing presentations anywhere. So I have to stop myself and take a step back and listen. And listen to them. And I have to train myself over and over again. Because remember, once I start talking over them, they're going to shut down. And that's it. I lost my kid as far as the conversation goes. So we need to work on our listening. Give your teen a chance to express their ideas and beliefs. And correct them when they're wrong. Okay? Teach them the importance of taking responsibility and about the joys and troubles of life. Okay? There's a lot of joys in life and there's a lot of troubles. I need to choose and pick and choose. They need to bear with that. Remember your own adolescent years? All adolescents will try new experiences and make some mistakes. Give them the help to make the right decisions. Close monitoring and good communication helps with this. Like, my wife is a teacher. I was in law enforcement, now I'm in a nonprofit. So I've seen kids through their stages of life. And you can tell what's going to go through every step of the way because the environment, okay? Monitor their mood, especially now, especially social media, especially their friends, their entourage, the people they hang out with. Monitor that, okay? Know who they're talking to and give them the help they need. Help them make the right decisions. Being a good parent doesn't mean being perfect. Nobody's perfect, okay? I give this presentation, and every day I go through some kind of training, I learn something new, and I have to apply it to myself. Okay? There's always room for growth, and it's never too late. We all get angry, we get worried and frustrated, and sometimes being tired, our emotions take over ourselves, and we end up snapping at that kid, and that kid shuts down. That happens to all of us. Okay? Remember to apologize. And it's so hard for a parent to apologize to their kid. It is so hard, especially for me. I had to learn that we all make mistakes. And it teaches them some skills in life later on. So if somebody makes a mistake, they need to apologize and change that behavior also. You don't want your kid to end up in an abusive relationship because you snapped at them, you never apologized, you didn't change that behavior. Guess what? That kid's going to grow up because they know that's the norm. They need to learn that that is not acceptable. That so they can apply it later on in life when they grow older. So when we apologize to them and know our mistake, they can learn from our mistakes too. This helps your teen understand how to manage emotion and fix relationship with the right social skill. That's how you teach them appropriate social skill, by applying it to yourself. They look up to us all the time, throughout the stage of their life, especially when they're teenagers. That's it. I went through it pretty fast. Any questions in the audience? Anybody here have questions or? No? Okay. Again, yes. Oh, thank you for being here. Yeah.